Hi there, my name is Juji. Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited for you to be here. This is a space for everyone and anyone who's interested in exploring self-development and relationships through the human design system. Well, guys, today I'm going to be doing a video about Beyonce and Jay-Z. This was another request that I got, and of course, I decided I needed to have an angle. And I guess in this case, the angle is they seem to be going really strong for a long time. And then all of these rumors started circulating that there was something going on. And then Solange attacked Jay-Z in an elevator and nobody knew why. And then Lemonade dropped. And if you're like me, 2016 was pretty much Lemonade on repeat. So how did this couple make it through his cheating scandal? A cheating scandal that she wrote an entire album about. I wanted to look underneath the hood and see what was it that kept these two together and going stronger than ever. So this is Beyonce's chart. She is a 1-3 split definition sacral generator on the right angle cross of consciousness. And one of the things that sticks out to me in this chart is that she has this channel 1156. And this is the channel of the storyteller. It's officially called the channel of curiosity, but it's all about this inspiration that comes from the ajna and how to express it through this very defined throat center that she has. And I suppose that one of the ways that we can look at Lemonade is that it is a story, right? It tells the story of her upbringing and the experience of women of color in general, but mostly it focuses on her personal experience of, marrying this man, having his child, and then finding out that he was cheating on her. And, as a 1-3, it's all about investigating the details and experimenting with them. So for her, it was all about bonds made and broken and her having to decide, is she going to leave? Is she going to stay? What's going to happen between the two of them? Now let's take a look at Jay-Z. This is a 1-3 split definition sacral generator. On the right angle cross of consciousness. Does this sound familiar? Basically, these two are very similar people. The difference, of course, is that Jay-Z has this sweet, sweet splenic definition, which for a lot of people with an open spleen is the number one seductive quality. No matter what Jay-Z did, meaning no matter how many women there were, or no matter how public it was, she still feels good in his aura. It's totally independent of his actual behavior. And of course, Jay-Z must really love that Beyonce has a defined G center, because anyone with an open G is always looking for direction in their life. Anyone who's open is constantly feeling like they don't have their own identity. And Jay-Z's identity is very wrapped up in Beyonce. Now, again, he's a 1-3 profile as well, so they're very much in harmony there. And his process is all about bonds made and broken as well. So, of course, they're both experimenting, they're both investigating, they're both introspective people, and they're just very similar in the way that they operate. Not to mention, they're on the same cross. That is really unusual. And there must be something in their relationship that's a recognition within this partnership now this is the two of them together. And as you can see, they have 6 centers defined and 3 open. And we call this 6 and 3 better to be free. What this really refers to in terms of how they're here to be in relation to each other is that there needs to be a lot of leeway between the two of them. People with this kind of configuration often have kind of independent lives within the relationship. They leave, they have experiences with other people, because there's so much that they're still trying to experience. Not to mention, this chart is still a split definition. So all of these hanging gates between the throat and the G center are constantly trying to get connected. So this is a very independent partnership, which means that they're here to go out, enjoy other people's company, and then return back to the relationship. Now, Jay-Z might have taken this one step too far, and that was actually what made it really difficult for the two of them to get through this ordeal. And potentially the way that they did that is by pouring their pain, or Beyonce pouring her pain, into her art. Because look, honestly, they don't even have a single electromagnetic between the two of them. And so what may have been the problem in this case is that there were times when Beyonce very willingly looked the other way, and yet there was something that she couldn't ignore about what happened right before she wrote this album. So what else is there to really say about this? I would look at their compromises, and specifically about this 515 channel that Beyonce has, because it is the channel of rhythm. It is all about having a very steady aura. She has a very smooth and even frequency, which is something that Jay-Z probably really loves. And yet he is still very compromised to her rhythm and flow. So that may have been something that was challenging for the both of them. And like I said, even though they don't have what I would normally say it takes to create this like huge spark between two people, they have so much similarity in common and enough difference that there is potentially this way for them to interact or be in a marriage together where they're not so dependent on one another. I also want to point out, because I talked before about how Jay-Z has splenic definition and Beyonce doesn't, and the specific channel that he has there is the channel of caring, which is interesting because I just talked about Meghan Markle and Harry and how they have this as an electromagnetic. So together they care for each other. Now, in this case, it's more that Beyonce is experiencing the fact that Jay-Z cares for her. He's probably a very attentive partner when they're in the same place. So it might be really confusing under those circumstances to be mad at somebody, even when they're caring for you, even when it feels good to be with them. And then there's this tendency with the open solar plexus. Neither one of them has solar plexus definition, and they don't create it together in a connection. So there's this tendency for people in a couple like that to really avoid confrontation and truth. Like they might have never even had a serious conversation about what happened. Beyonce was just like, I'm going to go write an album about this and it's going to be a huge hit. And he's like, I'm not going to deal with that. It's too much for me to handle. Glad you made a bunch of money, babe. And they also have an open ego together. So they might be trying to prove to the rest of the world that they can make it. I mean, they're just so fabulous together. They've been photographed in front of the Mona Lisa together. There's so much that they've created in terms of opulence and this lifestyle that they both seem to really love. So if she can like get it out of her system through her music and then move on to their next project together, that's probably for the best for the both of them. And of course, they have children together, so they do have motivation to keep the family intact. A lot of people stay together for the kids. Who knows if that's the reason? But really, I would say that the fact that these two have created somewhat of an empire together means it kind of behooves them to look past what traditionally people would say was something that two people could not get over, especially in such a public way. But as third lines, they're also all about these bonds made and broken. And for now, they've decided to keep this bond. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to get notified every time I release a new video. Please also comment below if you have any comments, questions, or if there is a celebrity couple you'd like me to take a look at. If they have accurate birth time, I would love to do that for you. You can also follow me on Instagram at @HDbyZ and find me on my website. The link will be in the show notes. There you'll see I do individual human design readings, couples readings, a relationship mentorship program, and I offer a community for conscious women who are practicing strategy and authority in their everyday lives called the Beehive. Until next time, ciao for now.